I'm back again. I just want to re-inform everyone that this booking, the way it's been handled, is done in accordance with the rules set out by the Wrestling Roundtable. So these are what are sort of in response to that thing they did, that video they did a while back, and it's still on their website. I just decided to do it in video format. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. Anyway, let's get straight into this now. Uncensored 1998. This is how I'd book it. Cruiserweight title. As we've been going on, I've got Eddie Guerrero holding the belt. He takes on Juventud Guerrera, beats him. Then we have a TV title match, Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho. Chris Benoit wins, retains the belt. Then we lower the cage and have Scott Steiner take on Rick Steiner. Rick Steiner gets the win here. Then we have the tag team title match, Jim the Anvil Neidhart and the British Bulldog, representing the Dungeon taking on Harlem Heat. Harlem Heat comes out and gets the win. US title match under Raven's rules. Raven challenging DDP. Bang, diamond cutter out of nowhere, DDP wins. Alright, let's continue on. Alright, now, we have these two teams taking on each other. The NWO team, consisting of Scott Hall, Scott Norton, Buff Bagwell, and Curt Hennig, with Vincent taking on Bret the Hitman Hart and Macho Man Randy Savage and the Faces of Fear. Now, the rule with this, if Randy Savage gets the win, it's the end of the NWO, and Hogan is back in WCW. Well, it's a bit too early to end the NWO, in my opinion. So, the NWO gets the win, but it's a very close match. Basically, what would happen is Randy would take the fall, because basically, the way I'm handling this is Randy Savage just keeps getting beat and beat and beat. But he's still getting wins here and there, but when the time comes for that really big win, he seems to be stuffing up. He's missing out with his flying elbows. He's getting pinned out of nowhere, sort of thing. Alright, after that, we have the Giant taking on Goldberg. Now, I think by this time, probably the streak would be becoming a bit of a deal. So basically, the Giant reckons he can defeat Goldberg. He can beat him, and the way this would have been built up is, well, Goldberg is just standing right up to this guy. He doesn't fear him at all. He's been getting a few wins, and the Giant keeps coming out saying that guy was nothing. Wait until you face me. It's Uncensored. You're gonna be face to face with a Giant, or should I say, face to chest with the Giant, something like that sort of thing. But as we know, Goldberg would gets the win here. Obviously, big win, but still he just walks right back out. It's like, and everyone, and he's sort of like, that's one more to the list. Right, finally we come down to the big match: Sting versus Kevin Nash. And this is a last man standing match. Basically, Sting gets the win, but it's kind of like the reverse of what happened in the Triple H Chris Jericho match. It sort of comes down to the last second, but Sting is the one that gets standing up, and this would be a bloody brawl, and you'd have NWO trying to interfere, but sometime before this, there would be a stipulation put in there. This is how I do it. There'd be a stipulation put. JJ would come out and say, "Look, there no NWO interference, at all, and if there is, Nash immediately loses the match, and you guys will never get another title shot." All right, we go from there to Nitro. Now, I haven't got much down here, but some of these segments would probably run a little bit longer. And I'd be built, like, basically, I'd use the first Nitro after this to build up the next big feud. And okay, the NWO arrived to the arena with their heads down again. They got this minor victory in preventing Hogan from coming back and essentially staying together, but they haven't got that. They didn't get that big win. Anyway, we kick off the show with Ric Flair with Arn Anderson and Curt, taking on Curt Hennig with Rick Rude. Now, basically, Curt Hennig would get the win here. I think he was the younger guy, and I think it'd just be another way to sort of build the NWO back up after that little bit of a loss. Okay, then we have a US title #1 contenders match. Konnan, still a member of the NWO, taking on Rick Steiner. Now, here, Scotty would still be a little bit pissed off that Rick got the win on him, and he'd come out sometime during the match just to do a little distraction, but basically this would sort of be, wouldn't want this feud to keep going, so I'd just have this sort of be like the fizzling out of the feud along the way here. Then we have a 4-man cruiserweight match. Lenny Lane, Alex Wright, Ultimo Dragon, and Chris Jericho. Ultimo Dragon, I think, would get the win here. You know, that would be enough for me. And eventually, like, he eventually gets the #1 contendership. Then we have Booker T, before he was the 5-time WCW champion, taking on Jim the Anvil Neidhart. This would sort of be like building up, like leftovers from the pay-per-view the night before. Booker T would get the win here, sort of solid victory. Okay, and the main event for the night would be the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, taking on Bret Hart and Sting. Bret and Sting managed to get the victory because, well, they're just coming off a very hard last man standing match. So Bret and Scott would sort of be doing the main thing here. See, Sting and that would still be showing some of the effects, selling the effects of the night before. But here comes the important bit. After the match, Bret asked for a world title match against Sting. But then Ric Flair, the Four Horsemen music hits. Flair comes out and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 Bret, you know, to be the man, first you got to go beat the man, and that the man is me." JJ comes out and makes a match for the upcoming Clash of the Champions between Ric Flair and Bret Hart. Winner goes on to face Sting. Then tells the Outsiders, "Whoa! Before you guys go, you have a match too. You're taking on Sting and this man," and out comes Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah, and break. There, you've got your Clash of the Champions set up. You got 2 big matches set for the Clash of the Champions. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening. This is a bit longer than the last one. I'm surprised. A little bit more to go through here. Okay, so stay tuned. We got the Clash of the Champions And I think I've got a Nitro after that for you as well. Okay.